See, I see, like, is it even going?
Yep.
All right. Welcome to the Krakenslair Comics. Today on my birthday, October 22nd, I'm here with my good buddy Chance, and we are looking at books that I'm going to send in to be graded. We did a video. Thanks, Chance. We did a video discussing grades that I had on comic books, where my daughter and Chance were like sort of, I think this book would grade this way or this way. And I thought it might be like a nice exercise before I sent in books to be graded for Chance and my daughter, who is not here, to, assign a grade. So where you can see where it comes back. You do learn a whole lot about sending books in to be graded. You learn, like, where it's like, okay, I thought it was this, and it came back this, and then okay, Chance just put on a mask. Derailing. So, like, you do learn sending books in to be graded and what they come back as. Now, for new collectors, there is a guideline where there's certain damage that even if the book is pristine beyond that damage, it can only grade a certain level. So if it's like got a 1-inch spine split, or if it's got a rusty staple, or if there's like a corner chip out of the comic, even if the rest of it looks really, really nice, there's only a certain grade that comic book can get according to the comic book grading guidelines. So it can be a little bit frustrating where you're like, oh man, like this book looks really nice, and it comes back a certain grade and you're disappointed. One of my biggest drawbacks is I do not pull my comic books out of the bag and board before I send them in to be graded. So I've been dinged multiple times where, oh, there's a water stain on the back. Oh, there's dirt on the back that I wasn't even really looking at. And so it was a not awesome surprise to go, oh, I thought this was an 8 and it's a 6. And once you understand the information, like, you're like, yeah, that's fair. It is a 6. So these are books I'm sending off to be graded.
There's a camera there too, by the way. If you want to shift your eye contact.
Hi,
the monitor.
Hi, camera. These are a couple of good books from the 50s. See, now my stuff is backwards, so I gotta.
No, you just hit that button and put it back where it was.
Well, I want to show it on.
Oh. Well, there's the camera right here.
See, it's backwards on yours too.
I know, but it won't be when it's not live.
Okay.
Let me show it here real quick for your benefit, for your people. There.
So.
Now let me flip that for you.
Now. These Monarch Devils. You always want to be careful pulling your comic books out, like, especially like where you have tape. You don't want to be like so, focused on pulling them out that like you screw up your own comic book. So, Chance, how do you want to show this?
this is. I feel bad handling this book for the YouTubers and my channel. Look at that pretty comic book.
And the white
Woo!
It's pretty white. There's a little something going there for the all white background.
And that's an original. It's not a reprint, right?
No.
That is an incredible shape. You got a little bit of chipping there. I got to hold it up for the camera in a minute, but
no, I mean it's
like you said, the pages are white.
It's like 1955.
Yeah.
You know, it's complete. The staples are tight. I don't. There's too many cameras. So, Chance.
Mm-hmm. First of all, for your people.
Yeah, no, one thing. Put it back.
For 2 channels, Danny's doing this on his channel, which is Daniel Cochran on YouTube, formerly known as Krakenslair Comics, and then this, of course, is the Nostalgic Podcast. I'm probably off mic. But this book is great. I just want to show you some chipping here. Right there. No big deal. For the age, my God, what year is this book?
55.
Jeez, it's in excellent shape. We got some really exciting comic books to show you guys. If you're comic book people, hopefully you are. And then I have a birthday present to give Danny. I'm springing on him. I didn't tell him about this. I brought him a birthday gift because it's his birthday today.
So, what grade?
Okay, we're playing a little game. He's going to mail these off to be graded, as he said, just to reiterate. So we're playing a guessing game, and then I'm going to come back in maybe 3 months whenever he gets these books back from the grading company. I mean, I'm not a professional grader, obviously.
I'm not either.
But I would say, based on front, back, and center and the white pages and just the minor chipping, it's at least a 7.0. At least. I mean, I think it's closer to an 8. That's just me. They've got to take into account the age of the book.
Well, and they do.
It's not that brittle. I mean, my God.
I'm going to call this a 6.
Oh, well, I think it's higher than that. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's why we're playing this game. There's a couple corner creases that do break color. I don't think there's any way it's an 8. I mean, I would love an 8. But wait, I don't like if you want to zoom, it's right there at the staple.
Okay.
That tear.
My hands are clean. Don't worry. I'm not going to damage this prize book. Uh-oh. Mine went down. You keep going. Yep.
What's that? So that's your camera.
That's
like
mine. Yours is still rolling still. And then to show your people what you're talking about,
right. Yeah. So it's right here at the staples.
Right there. Danny was saying at the staples, there's a little bit of wear in this book. That's why he's calling it
a 6.
A 6.0 grade.
I mean, but it's for 1955. Like, what's the math on that? Like, okay, 5 years is 1960. 60 to 2000 is 40 years. 2023. Like, this is a very, very, very old book. Very old. Very old book. You know, and that's why you're off to get graded, buddy. Kept another EC Comics, same era, the 50s. I had one of these and I sold it to Earl Shaw. Made a good bit of money.
It was 68 years ago, by the way, 1955 to 2023.
And I love this book.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The Flying Saucer Report. EC Comics challenges the U.S. Air Force because I'm sure they're really nervous about that. You know, like a comic book company is challenging us on UFOs. But look how nice that looks.
For your people?
I mean, it's... Alright, let's look at the year on this. 1954 is this one.
Wow.
1954.
69 years ago.
And like, the edges are really nice, and it's so awesome. Here, Chance. Smell this book. Smell the 50s.
Oh, yeah. I love the smell of comic books.
Smell the 50s.
It's a beautiful book. It's in really nice shape.
Look at the back. I mean, there's not even like dirt. Wow. Yeah, man. Like, that's... Look at the color of the pages.
That's the thing. I hate when a book gets slabbed because you can't open it up, you can't smell it, you can't look at the artwork. It all depends on your needs. I mean, grading is a necessary evil. If you're an investor, you should have it graded. But if you're someone like me who's passionate about reading the comic books and looking at it, you know, you're kind of between a rock and a hard place because the book will deteriorate if you don't slab it.
Well, right. I'm about preservation, you know.
Depending on where you live. I mean, if you live in, like, near a beach or something, the book's going to erode differently than it will if you live in the mountains or any other type of climate.
Well, but
humidity versus no humidity.
It's made out of
dry
paper.
heat.
It's made out of paper, and all it takes is like, you know. I mean, I know you handle comic books respectfully,
and a lot of people wear gloves,
but
when they handle comic books.
All I want to take is like, well, you're like showing the book, and I was like, oh, wrinkle, crinkle,
yeah,
you know, and 1954. Like 1954, that's a long time ago. That even predates me and Chance. And so we have not guessed on the grade of this, Chance.
I take into account, like I said before, the age of the book, the pages, the color of the pages, and everything else, general wear and tear. 6.0 is my guess.
I'm right there with you. You can see on the spine, it's always the spine. If this came back a 5, I would not be surprised or upset. I am definitely paying for the pressing and dry cleaning, right? Because you know, the white background, there is like hard to see in the light, there is like a little bit of yellowing. $25 pressing and dry cleaning. Look, right, could be wider. I'm, you know, I want to be optimistic. I'm going, wow. Final answer, I'm going 4.5 to a 5 on this.
And when are you going to mail these in to be graded? What's your timetable?
Pretty
next
soon.
week, next month, what?
Well,
because we got to wait for them to come back.
Yeah, I'm still paying off the Daredevil #1 that's coming. So it's going to be a minute, but I wanted to take advantage of your presence here on my birthday to All right, now this is I love this book. Absolutely love it. And it is
Oh, I love this cover. Wait for it, folks.
oh yeah. Wait, we got wait.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this. Now, in terms of grading, there's a couple things you might note. There is a date stamp, which...
That does not detract from the grade.
Well, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't, in my opinion, and it doesn't in the opinion of most graders. I think it's an attractive feature.
On Golden Age books, it does not. There's also something really interesting.
And Silver Age, too.
Where, like, the owner put tape, and on a Golden Age book, tape does not count as restoration. The interesting thing to note is the staples are tight on this. The tape did nothing. Like, it was not needed. But, all right, some kid was like, I'll put tape on it and, it's going to keep my book good, cute. None of the grading companies ding that as restoration for the age of this book. Now, I talk about, like, PGX, CGC, grading company. There is something very cool about this particular book.
Can you hold it up a little bit for both cameras? Appreciate it. Let me turn this so you can see my shot. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, look how nice it is.
Yeah, let me show them the stamp real quick.
The
There's
edges.
the stamp Danny was talking about, and the letter M in crime. What that was an expiration date. Think of a milk carton. The stamp was to let the person stocking the shelf know when this book needed to be removed from the comic book rack or newsstand and replaced with a newer edition.
Look how cool that is. All right. So I guess, dude, look how clean this is. It's just amazing.
And look at this. The stamp says January 21st, but the cover date says April to May. They were typically 3 months ahead of real time. The cover date on a magazine or comic book in these days is always 3 months ahead of real actual time.
Chance. In 1953.
Woo!
1953.
70-year-old comic book. 70-year-old comic book. Here we are at the end of 2023 pretty much. Wow. And it's flat. It feels like new. If you could be here and hold the book yourself, you
Pages are supple. They're not.
There's the back of the book. If I can hold it straight. There we go. See that, Danny? Oh, didn't mean to block you, brother.
That's cool.
And let me show the inside. Look at that. You've got a little bit of chipping. I'm going to show the tape Danny referenced. There's a little bit of chipping right there at the bottom. And here's the tape right there. Now for your people.
No. Yes. Now, what makes this really cool? I'm going to find it. So I bought this from a guy who lives in New York. And he went to a New York Comic Con like in the 70s. So, dude, look at the color of these pages. I'm trying to find it. So, he had this book signed.
Oh, wow. Cool.
By Al Williamson.
The artist.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. All right, very delicately.
There it is.
on the story that he drew.
Can I show it from my camera?
Yeah, just be careful.
I'll be very careful.
Very careful.
There's the autograph. Okay, being careful, being careful.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's
Like,
really cool.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Oh, grabber.
It's okay.
So,
And look at the inside front cover. It was an ad for Mad Magazine. Did you show him that? Danny, look at this.
well,
Look at that ad for Mad Magazine,
because
which was a comic book.
Bill Gaines, when his comic book empire was crushed because of, seduction of the innocent and stuff, he moved to magazines to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't do it the right way.
Well, that's okay.
Go ahead, keep talking.
So, magazines were not under the Comic Code Authority, so there was a little bit more. Hey, Chance.
Mm-hmm.
Smell 1953.
It smells like mothballs. That's what she said. Yep. But the color's really rich. The pages are still white. It's in really nice condition.
Uh-huh.
For 70 years ago? Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we're still alive in 30. It'll be 100 years old in 30 years. Unreal.
Yeah.
How time flies. So, all right, now we got to decide what grade we would well, let me ask you this about the autograph. It's not been authenticated. That's an issue with grading companies.
No, that's a good point, because CGC, the premier grading company, does not authenticate signatures that they don't witness. I mean, I get it. But like, people authenticate signatures on a baseball. I mean, Babe Ruth is dead. Well,
yeah, you have handwriting experts that after the fact,
Jim Morrison
can
is dead.
determine if it's an authentic signature.
Yeah. So, CGC would grade this down for having a name.
As damage, basically.
As damage.
Until it's authenticated.
Now, when it's authenticated, a legit Al Williamson signature on this book from 1950, what is that, 3, 4?
1953.
It's going to make this more valuable. So, like, that is getting sent off to be graded for sure. Damn, I thought I had. The gold record reprint.
Danny has the first appearance of Thor, Journey to Mystery, issue 83. Prior to that, it was a monster book, an anthology book of maybe 3 stories. This is the issue that introduced Thor, the Norse god of thunder, that Stan Lee adapted to comic books in 1962. Right when Marvel comic books were taking off, you already had Fantastic Four issue 1 published, you had Amazing Fantasy 15 published, first appearance of Spider-Man, first Ant-Man before that, and Tales to Astonish, and then you had Journey into Mystery. This actually came out the same week as Amazing Fantasy 15, the same month rather, as Amazing Fantasy 15 first appearance of Spider-Man. That, however, is a reprint, but a reprint from 1966, is it?
Yep.
And it was part of a record set, Golden Records. The Golden Records Company had a record album size, not a 45, but a full album size where it told the story. And enclosed with the album was this comic book. They did the same thing with Fantastic Four issue number 1.
Yes.
This is in really nice shape. I don't even want to handle it, even though it's a reprint. This has value, though, certainly not as much as a first print, Journey to Mystery 83. The difference is there's no price tag on the cover. There's no 12-cent price tag, which would be in a circle on the cover. That's how you can tell it's a Golden Records reprint.
Krakenslair Comics people, I'm signing off here.
Oh, really? You don't want to do a grade on it? You're sending it off to be graded, so let's, before you sign off on your channel.
The biggest problem
Uh-huh.
It's this chip right there.
Wow, I didn't even notice that. Good eye. There's a chip right there.
So I don't really think it could grade higher than a 7 because of that. Like underneath the Overstreet guidelines of, I just like, as I said, like when it comes to like grade comic books, like there's certain damage like where it's just like it's immediately that Amazing Spider-Man 20 I have came back a 5 because it's missing the pinup. And it's gorgeous in every other way, but it's missing a pinup, so it's incomplete. It's a 0.5, period. So I think this, and it, I mean, that's I don't care. Low grade is better than no grade.
It's not a bad condition copy. I mean,
Not at all.
You're beating yourself up about it. I'm not a professional grader. I would give that. It's like a solid 7. I mean, I don't even want to handle it.
No.
That's a solid 7, which is, of course, better than 50%, better than a 5.0, which is right in the middle between a low grade and a high grade book. I think it's towards the higher grade. I'm not going to take it out of its. Well, hang on a second. Maybe I'll be really careful. I'm going to take this book out and show your audience and my audience, the podience, as your wife named, the Nostalgic Pod Blast audience. The podience is listening. Oh my God, look at the back.
I mean, look at the color.
Sorry. Woo! Open it up. Ain't it pretty?
It's nice.
There's the back. I'm not going to set it on the table because there could be something there. It's a nice book. There is a little bit of chipping on the back cover. Can you see that? Along the edge, there is a little bit of chipping. Nothing major. Right there, you see it.
Yep.
All the pages are there. There's no cutouts. No writing anywhere that I see. Let me put it back in here for you. Now, what do you grade it at, Danny?
I just don't see it going above a 6.5 with that corner out.
Okay.
I mean, if the corner was not out, 7.5 maybe.
Okay. When did you get this book? Did you already say? I don't recall you saying where you got this Golden Records reprint.
Oh man, it was like 2008.
Okay.
Like
when the economy went south.
Yeah.
So do you remember what you paid for it?
$150.
Oh, you do remember. Good. Wow.
Well, because I was like, I can't afford the first appearance, like original Journey Mystery 83. So, like, to me, like, it was the next best thing. And then when I saw, like, these books, like, getting stupid expensive, I was like, what are collectors going to do? I had so many opportunities to grab, like, the Golden Record reprint, like, Fantastic Four #1. I didn't do it. I totally beat myself up over that because now those things are going for, like, thousands.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because my thought was, it was like, yeah, man, like as a collector, like you want to have this in your collection, and if you can't spend $10,000 on a book, the Golden Record reprint might be the best next thing you can do that's affordable. And actually, reached out, like Chris, We Love Comics channel. And he was sort of like, yeah, man, like the Golden Record reprints. And I was like, oh, man, I totally should have, like, snapped all those up.
Well, another reprint that you've preached for years is the first appearance of Groot.
Yeah.
Where Monsters Dwell.
6.
Issue number 6.
Yeah.
And it's a buyer's market right now. Here we are at the end of 2023. Everyone knows that. You can get some phenomenal deals right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not just at pawn shops, but on friggin' eBay. Unfortunately, we did a video right here at Krakenslair Comics with your daughter 3 months ago, and we compared 3 CGC 9.6 graded issues of the Incredible Hulk issue 254, first appearance of the UFOs. I hate to say it, I thought I got a deal getting them for like $100 a piece. Now, the other day, some went for like $45, a 9.6 CGC. It's from the same seller. This guy's in Canada, and he goes across the border in New York and ships them to buyers on eBay. And it just makes me so sad. I still think that book within 10 years will be a thing. I think the UFOs will be in the MCU.
Dude.
But it's depressing seeing how that book has crashed.
Dude, no, it's not.
And that's just one example of the crash.
It was stimulus money, COVID, that skewed the numbers. Because, like, all of a sudden, like, here's like, oh, man, here's an extra $800 a week. You know, and people invested in collectibles, and it drove the price up. Crazy stupid. Yeah. To, like, where, like, I mean, it's normalizing.
I'm going to show some of your sexy books while you talk.
Okay.
Like the first appearance of the Black Panther, Fantastic Four, issue number 52, of course. Very first appearance of the Black Panther.
Signing out, Krakenslair comic people, doing video chance now. Love you.
I didn't get on camera yet. Hey, here's my ugly mug. How you doing? It's Chance. The Nostalgic Pod Blast. Please subscribe on YouTube.
I will have him post a link in the comment section. Enjoy comics. Enjoy comic book collecting. This is Daniel on his birthday thing. And thank you for joining.
Happy birthday to you.